A recent interview has shed new light on the controversial comments made during this year's WNBA All-Star Game involving Las Vegas Aces guard Kelsey Plum and remarks about Caitlin Clark's team absence from a pre-game meeting. The incident originally occurred during All-Star Weekend when players organized a demonstration wearing shirts advocating for increased player compensation. During a post-game press conference, Plum made pointed comments about Clark's team not attending the meeting where this unified action was planned. The original statement drew significant attention when Plum noted that 0 members of Team Clark were very present for the morning meeting where players coordinated their demonstration. This comment sparked widespread discussion and criticism across social media platforms and sports commentary circles. Now, that moment there, I was one of the people that reported on it when it happened, blew up, bro. That was a big story. And she's actually stating why she said no one from Caitlin Clark team showed up. As she said there, like, Caitlin Clark was just on his show too. Caitlin Clark just on his shoe. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't have said what she said, but it is funny. It is funny because in a recent podcast appearance, Plum provided context and clarification for her controversial remarks. She acknowledged that her comments constituted a really bad joke and expressed regret about the timing and delivery of her statement during what should have been a celebratory moment. According to Plum's explanation, the comment was intended as light-hearted humor referencing the fact that both teams had been celebrating the previous evening. She revealed that her team had adopted "hungover" as their unofficial nickname, and her remark was meant to playfully suggest that Clark's team was similarly affected by the festivities. The guard explained that she entered the press conference in high spirits following their victory and a positive weekend with family present. When questions about the demonstration arose, she attempted to lighten the mood with what she considered harmless banter between teammates. Plum emphasized that all players ultimately supported the unified message, as evidenced by everyone wearing the demonstration shirts during the game. She stressed that her comments were not meant to undermine the serious nature of the players' advocacy efforts regarding compensation and working conditions. The clarification highlights broader challenges facing WNBA players as the league experiences unprecedented growth and media attention. Players find themselves navigating increased scrutiny and publicity without adequate preparation for managing public relations and media interactions. Many observers note that league leadership has failed to provide sufficient media training and public relations guidance as player profiles have risen dramatically. Athletes accustomed to minimal coverage now face intense social media scrutiny and widespread analysis of their every public statement. The incident exemplifies how casual comments can be amplified and misinterpreted in today's media environment. What Plum intended as teammate banter became a source of division and criticism when removed from its intended context and casual atmosphere. Professional sports organizations typically provide extensive media training to help athletes navigate public communications effectively. A sarcastic comment or something that's trying to tell a joke, like, people can run with it. And there's like another aspect when it's like you never even get a chance to explain it. It's like, what are you going to do? And I know recently for you, at the All-Star Game, after you took a couple, crown apples, to the head, which, by the way, crown apple shots, underrated shot, for sure. I will take that to the grave. Well, it is it? Yeah, underrated shot. It was like a positive, fun All-Star Game, and you were trying to just make a joke. However, the WNBA's rapid growth appears to have outpaced institutional support systems designed to prepare players for increased visibility and responsibility. Social media platforms amplify these communication challenges by removing context and encouraging rapid judgment without complete information. Players find themselves defending statements that were never intended for broader public consumption or analysis. The situation also reflects the pressure facing WNBA players to maintain perfect public images while advocating for important workplace issues. The balance between authentic personality expression and professional representation creates ongoing tension for athletes in the spotlight. And I should have, hindsight 2020, because of the shirts, because of the fans, I should have known it was a way more serious moment than a typical All-Star Game. Yeah. Because I went into that press conference very happy-go-lucky, we won, and then had a great weekend, my family was here, it was just a great time, and so the questions came in, and it was like, CBA, this, and I, honestly, Birdie was like, Plum's experience demonstrates how defensive responses often worsen controversial situations rather than resolving them. Her decision to remain silent initially reflected understanding that explanations can sometimes appear defensive and generate additional criticism. The broader implications extend beyond individual player communications to organizational responsibilities for supporting athletes through increased public attention. League leadership must address these preparation gaps to prevent similar incidents and protect player interests. Training programs should address social media management, interview techniques, and crisis communication strategies. Players need tools to express their personalities while understanding potential consequences of public statements in heightened scrutiny environments. The incident also highlights fan and media responsibilities in interpreting player communications charitably rather than seeking controversy in every statement. Constructive dialogue requires good faith interpretation and consideration of context rather than immediate assumption of negative intent. Moving forward, both individual players and league organizations must adapt to the reality of increased attention and accountability. This includes developing better communication strategies while maintaining authentic connections with fans and teammates. The controversy ultimately overshadowed important advocacy work regarding player compensation and working condition. This outcome demonstrates how communication missteps can undermine substantive efforts and distract from meaningful progress on important issues. Players deserve support systems that enable them to navigate public roles effectively while preserving their ability to express authentic personalities and maintain team chemistry. The current environment often forces choices between authenticity and public relations safety. The WNBA's continued growth depends partly on successfully managing these communication challenges and providing adequate support for players adjusting to increased visibility. Organizational investment in player development must extend beyond basketball skills to include public relations and media management. Future incidents could be prevented through proactive training and support rather than reactive damage control after controversial statements. The league has opportunities to learn from this situation and implement better preparation systems for all players. The resolution of this particular controversy through honest explanation and acknowledgement of poor judgment provides a positive model for addressing similar future situations. Transparency and accountability remain the best approaches for maintaining public trust and credibility. Whoever makes, well, hot cake was okay. And this was just a Kelsey Mitchell disaster class. I thought Natasha Howard started off really well, but in the end was horrendous. For the Washington Mystics, it was a Kiki area fan, was unbelievable. Again, 18-12. But Sonia Citron, rookie of the year right now. Rookie of the year right now. I don't care to Page at 29 points today and missed the game winner. The Indiana Fever suffered another devastating fourth-quarter collapse, losing to the Washington Mystics in a game that exposed fundamental organizational and strategic weaknesses. This defeat came against a franchise that has essentially abandoned competitive efforts for the current season, having recently traded away their top talent. Despite controlling the majority of the contest, the Fever once again failed to close out a winnable game. The team entered the final period with a 13-point advantage, yet could not maintain their lead when it mattered most. This pattern of surrendering substantial leads has become a defining characteristic of their season. Today, I missed a game winner. In fairness, there's probably the most clutch points I've seen Paige score in the season of 2. But rookie dear Sonia Citron, she absolutely is a dog. She is a dog. I don't think there's any other way of describing it. She is a dog. 6 of 13 from the field. She had 0 points in the first quarter and so 21. Kills it. Pre-game analysis suggested the Fever would need at least a 15-point cushion entering the fourth quarter to secure victory, given their documented struggles in close games. The 13-point margin proved insufficient, as predicted, highlighting the team's inability to execute under pressure and maintain composure in crucial moments. Kelsey Mitchell's performance epitomized the team's struggles, shooting an inefficient 6 of 19 from the field. Her decision-making in critical moments proved particularly costly, including a sequence where she slowed down a 5-on-4 fast break opportunity, allowing Washington's defense to recover rather than capitalizing on the numerical advantage. Aaliyah Boston recorded a near double-double with 20 points and close to 10 rebounds, but her impact remained surprisingly muted despite the statistical production. Her presence failed to provide the interior dominance typically expected from players with her skill set and physical advantages. Supporting players Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham fulfilled their basic responsibilities without providing significant impact beyond their baseline expectations. Odyssey Sims contributed positively off the bench, while Demira Stantis delivered a solid performance that stood out among the roster's generally disappointing showing. KLS Timmins avoided major mistakes but also failed to make meaningful contributions. Look, we're not going to put on the Sony Sitchan jersey. But, Leeds fell apart again. The Fever are just relinquished control in so many games. Look, I love Kelsey Mitchell. I think Kelsey Mitchell is an absolutely fantastic player. I think Kelsey Mitchell makes an all-WNBA team this year. A late shot clock violation prevented any assessment of her potential impact in crucial moments, though her overall play remained adequate without reaching impactful levels. For Washington, despite their organizational commitment to rebuilding rather than competing, individual players continued fighting for victories. Kiki Jefferson delivered another impressive performance with 18 points and 12 rebounds, demonstrating the personal pride that separates professional athletes from organizational tank strategies. The standout performer belonged to rookie Sonia Citron, who has emerged as a legitimate Rookie of the Year candidate through consistent excellence. After scoring 0 points in the opening quarter, she finished with 21 points on efficient 6 of 13 shooting, including clutch baskets throughout the second half. Citron's performance exemplified clutch play, converting virtually every quality scoring opportunity presented to her. Her ability to elevate performance during critical moments contrasted sharply with Indiana's collective inability to maintain intensity when games reached decisive phases. The Fever's offensive system bears significant responsibility for these recurring collapses, are due to, I'm not even going to blame fully Kelsey Mitchell. It's this offense that they run. It is so reliant on players just hitting shots. It is so reliant on players hitting shots, and on players hitting 12 shots, it does not generate open shots. And his team doesn't generate open shots because the scheme relies heavily on individual shot making rather than generating quality looks through systematic ball movement and strategic positioning. This approach proves particularly problematic during high-pressure situations when shooting percentages typically decline. The team consistently fails to utilize their best shooters effectively, ignoring players like Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull during crucial possessions. Instead, the offense defaults to isolation plays and difficult individual attempts rather than seeking optimal scoring opportunities through team basketball. They didn't look for Sophie Cunningham, who's been the best shooter in the league over the last couple of months. They don't even look for her. Lexi, huge shot down the stretch. It's just all around bad scenario for the Fever to be in. You're struggling. We've got Chloe Bibby warming the bench, and the reason why Chloe Bibby's warming the bench is because Chloe Bibby needs to play at the 4 in a lineup with Aaliyah Boston, and because of the way the coaching decisions have compounded these offensive limitations through questionable rotation management. Chloe Bibby remains underutilized despite her potential impact, primarily because the coaching staff insists on specific lineup combinations that don't maximize her strengths alongside Aaliyah Boston. Head coach Stephanie White's substitution patterns mirror problematic approaches seen elsewhere in professional basketball, frequently removing all starters simultaneously and replacing them with predominantly bench units. This strategy proves particularly damaging during playoff caliber games where every possession matters.